But every year, your boss basically pulls you in and says, okay, this is what you're doing right, this is what you're doing wrong, this is what you need to improve on.
Okay.
Now imagine going through all that and going, oh, and by the way, I'm trans.
Could you imagine just like, oh, they're like praising everything. It's like, oh, you're such a great, I don't know what gender to use. So you're like such a great employee. Oh, no, it's actually this one. Oh.
Well, and this, yeah.
Proceeds to continue praising.
She says that at first she thought it was that her boss thought that she was giving her notice. And here it was that she was just telling her she was transitioning, and she was actually grateful. Like, oh, thank God, you're just transgender.
I love the mental image I have. They're just, oh, thank God, you're just trans.
Yeah.
I still accept you. You're just not allowed to leave. Oh my God.
It says she thought I was going to give my notice and was relieved when it was that I was transitioning. That's kind of like my boss. Like, I came out to my supervisor at work. Not my supervisor, and she was like, oh, that's great. Now we're totally inclusive. Now we have a trans. We have somebody in every field. I went, great.
I love that.
I'm like, oh my God, I just turned into a political pawn.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Because, now where I work, they could go, hey, we're inclusive. How do we know? Because we have gay people and transgender people.
How do we know? We have Gabe.
Yeah.
We have him.
Oh, how's this thing? Came out to a friend while planning my wife's surprise birthday party.
Oh.
I'd love to know the details, but I think the no context makes it beautiful.
Yeah, and then all we get is that I told my wife 3 weeks later.
Oh, I love that. At the party, I'm assuming. I hope.
No, probably. I don't know.
I hope.
I don't know.
That'd be perfect. Happy birthday. Also, I'm trans.
Yeah.
I want to have a gender reveal party for one of my trans friends.
Chloe, can we have your gender reveal party?
We'll get It's a Girl balloons.
I'll get pink glitter.
I think, there's going to laugh at this, but I actually think that that's a freaking awesome idea. Imagine if transgender people actually decided to have
I actually have a
gender reveal
adult trans friend my mom used to play softball with, and he literally had a gender reveal party.
I think that's a freaking fabulous idea.
I can probably find the photos if you want.
Chloe, can you put off coming out to your parents for a few more years?
Doesn't even have to be a few, well, yeah. I mean, we would have to orchestrate it.
Get the money for it.
I think we should start that trend. I definitely think we should start adult gender reveal
Yeah, that'd
parties.
be fun.
Yeah. I actually think that's a great idea. All right,
Open the box through the...
Another person came out because they couldn't live in secret anymore. A life event that was big and had a lot of difficult being contained. I came out first to my brother because I knew he would understand me. That's always good. I'm always thrilled when, why are we poking the llama again?
Give me the llama.
No.
I'm taking away your llama
No,
privileges.
not my llama privileges. I bought this. You can't have it. He's touching my chest.
That's just wrong on a lot of levels.
Stop yanking him. Leo, touch my head.
What am I going to do with you guys?
Take them
Jail.
home.
Dude, yes. Yo, yeah. All right, so my son was not on here. Hopefully he decides to join soon. But he said, I can, as we question. Okay, so this is, I guess, the son. My son, I decided to come out due to stress and anxiety it was causing me. Back in February last year, I started to suffer with tics. Swearing constantly with no control. It sounds like a typical teenager. We are waiting for a neurologist appointment. It kind of sounds like Tourette's a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Eye twitches, and since speaking to my mom and family, it was mom, so...
European.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
The swearing side of things is more or less stopped. The tics are still there, but I feel keeping the secret definitely made them worse. And my girlfriend, who's still with me, was massively supportive. She was she was the one who encouraged me to come out. Best thing I ever did. So this is coming from a lady's son, I guess, and sounds like
That's so sweet that his girlfriend encouraged him to come out.
Yeah, but it goes to emphasize, again, the insane pressure and stress that gender dysphoria can put under people.
Yeah.
And again, we talked about that one and some self-affirmation and what it does to people and how, the positive and negative ways of dealing with the gender dysphoria. So, if you had a friend who was transgender and had come out to you but not come out to their family members, would you give them any advice?
I actually have a few friends that come to me and ask about it.
Mm-hmm.
And the very first question is always, are they accepting? Are you going to be safe? If it is not safe, please do not come out.
Agreed.
Like,
Yeah.
that is the first thing I ask is it safe? Are they okay with it? because like it's scary, honestly.
Well, and the truth be told, I mean, you generally don't know. I mean, like, again, I hate to call my mom out on this, but that kind of took me back.
Yeah.
There really there was, but there wasn't support.
Mm-hmm.
Now, fortunately, I am a grown adult, so you know, it's 3 sheets to the wind.
Yeah.
But for you guys, I mean, like, and you especially, Ace, you kind of deal with some of that, and it's not always. Well, it's not. It doesn't sound sometimes like it's ever pleasant.
No, it's really not. But I mean, like I saw a video because it was sent to me. And another thing is like if you're gonna like test the waters before you come out, you can always tell your parents about. You can even make this up, a gay friend, and see how they react.
Sure.
That is probably one of the best bets to know. And some parents are like, oh, that's fine if it's them, but not my kid. No.
Yeah.
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 Most parents, and this is coming from what I remember, a friend of Kai's telling us about one of her friends, is parents will usually make it very obvious if there is a friend of a child that is in the LGBTQ that they don't like. Like, I remember being told that this friend got told that by their dad, if you ever came out, I would disown you and kick you out of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's.
And I think you can understand who I'm talking about just from that.
Yeah, and
That's
I've read a
terrifying.
couple of books. I think I even have one somewhere around here. Stories of kids who, the one book I read, the kid was gender fluid, and they were the child of a politician,
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
and they were literally considering coming out during election season. Like, they knew better. They knew it wasn't, but it was still kind of hard, and they were talking to friends, and it spilled at school, and somehow everybody knew, and yeah.
I mean, depending on where you are, having an openly gay child, which you support, will actually do you wonders in the political field.
Depending on if...
Pending location.
Well, not only location, but, I mean, you're talking demographics, but also
Yes.
pending your political party.
True.
In the story, it worked out politically fine. She ended up, they ended up being part of a support group, and got involved in this huge community. Are you all right?
Yeah.
Okay. And got part of this huge community, and the father was supportive, and because the father was supportive and admitted it politically that he was supportive, he was basically willing to put his career aside for the moment. But it kind of backfired on those people who were trying to use it because it worked for him and he got reelected. But there was issues at school, needless to say, the football team, and not all football players are like that, but there was a couple of kids that just happened to be football players in this book that went a little too far.
I know a few football players that are pretty homophobic, but I also have some that are like, oh, my man, come here. And then they insult me. But it's not like transphobia. It's just insults.
Yeah, something I recommend.
Remind them who I am. Remind them who you are.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Something
I
I
like my
guarantee
football
you there's not a
players.
football player at that school who will bother you if they know who you are. Not if they don't want to see their pictures again.
Something I recommend, especially for youth who are planning on coming out or thinking about coming out to their parents, and they aren't sure but they still want to come out, find somewhere where you know is safe to stay if you do get kicked out.
Yes,
Sure.
always have a backup plan.
And we did talk about, we did give out those websites and those phone numbers on our last podcast. We can definitely pull them back out. Those are LGBTQ safe websites, phones that you can call to talk to somebody. And there's even a shelter, that can get you in touch with local shelters in your area if you need a safe place to stay.
Mm-hmm.
We here have a spare room, and it will always be open and available should somebody need to crash there.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, I mean, this is a very rainbow-friendly house.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there should be a rainbow out front of my door, but there isn't.
wouldn't
I'll
let
get
you.
you one.
Oh, thank you.
Of course.
Yeah. Oh my god, I would love
Oh
that.
my god,
I would
of
love that so
course.
much. Okay.
It got sad, okay? Jokes.
We're
Humor.
getting sappy.
What do I have? I have this little thing. But like I'm
I have
saying,
candy.
is that no, like everybody. Oh, there's a highlighter in there too. What is that?
Yo, can I eat it?
Don't eat the
Aw.
highlighter.
It's not a highlighter. It's yeah. Don't eat the lighter. I have this.
What is this? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are great.
I love this. It's a little rainbow-colored sign that says, "All are welcome, all welcome, all sizes, all colors, all cultures, all genders, all orientations, all beliefs." I almost read bellies. All religions,
yes.
all ages, all people. I wanted to get this blown up and hang in Nana's house. Can you tell by the silence how well that'll go?
It's not going to go well, but I'll put it on my door.
Put it
She'll
right
never
on
knock
the window.
again.
Put it right on the window.
I
Oh
don't
no,
know
'cause
if
it
I
says
can
all-
mention this.
It says all ages, so yeah, she'll knock.
I don't know if I can mention this, but I had a flag outside my window, and I literally had family yell at me for it because of their standpoint on things. And I'm sure you know exactly what flag I'm talking about.
Really?
The one that you had to move to the other window?
Wow. Okay.
Oh.
Look, as much as I like those sidebar conversations, they do tend to kind of
Yes.
get off, and because people don't know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll explain it after the podcast.
Chloe, what about you? Like, if you had somebody that came to you and said, "Hey, look, I'm thinking about coming out. What do you think?"
Yeah, I would obviously be very supportive of them. I don't know. I would probably encourage them to because it'll eventually always get better. But if they're not ready to, then I don't want to pressure them into doing anything if they don't want to.
Sure. And I don't think anybody would ever say, "Look, you have to come out."
Oh, no.
No.
Yeah, no.
And if they do, that's definitely not safe.
No, and
I've thankfully never met anyone like that.
come out to the dark side. We have
Come out wherever you are. Pun intended.
HRT.
Ooh,
If
coming.
you don't-
Coming.
If you don't come out of that closet, I'm going back in there to get you.
That is how we threaten one of our friends who is straight. Come out of the closet. You're straight. No, you're not.
We know what you are, what you aren't. So,
Him in his
okay.
glass closet.
So, again, it seems like the vast majority of people, had positive experiences. And we want people to have positive experience. But let's face it, not everybody does.
No.
Have you guys ever had a negative experience? I mean,
Yeah.
aside from Grandma,
My father.
your father,
Dad was bad with it, yeah.
My sperm donor.
the terms of endearment in this house are insane. What about...
I'm not allowed to call him anything else on this podcast. Sorry.
I haven't yet because I'm out to so few people.
Okay.
It's really only people that I trust.
You do realize you're out to now about 300 people.
Yeah.
Surprise.
In like
Have fun.
10 or 15 countries. 30 different states.
Well, that's fine.
Okay.
They're probably not going to see me. Maybe. I don't know.
That's the plan.
One of them will.
That's the beauty of radio is if they see you, they're not going to worry about it because they're not going to know who you are anyway. I don't know. I mean, like I actually looked for the people that I thought would have a problem with it. Like I remember going to work and then the one guy and I went up to him and I'm like, "Look, this is how it is. I'm transgender. I am now he, him. You will call me Mister. So if you have any dick jokes, get them out now." And he just looked at me and was like, "Nah, man. If you're cool, I'm cool." I'm like, "Well, that didn't go the way it was supposed to." I kind of want a pea shooter, like right off your head.
Please don't. For the record, I have some seafoam llama that we have been messing around with all of this, and I keep getting yelled at by Leo.
Yes.
I didn't yell at you that time.
No llama. There will be no throwing of the llama. I was llama chucking.
Llama tossing.
A llama salt.
He sits up there so nice. Your hair is just perfectly nested.
It's a good nest for the llama.
Can
It
I put
is.
a nest in your hair, Chloe?
There already is.
I have wooden eggs.
No.
No.
All right. Yeah. I mean, like aside from Nana, I don't. I had one. I had one student. That had a crush on me, and refused to like get it out of his head that
What?
I was transgender, and his mentality was that if he talked to me enough, and if he flirted and he tried, hard enough, that I would see the error of my ways, and he ended up getting kicked out of my class for it.
Ugh.
Because it just was not a safe environment.
Yeah.
So,